I'm not going to ask you to just say your age on A, but 5 books to your name. Who is Blessing Mandevhana? Just a brief before we get into the books, because we want to focus more on the books that you have written.
No, it's okay. Okay, Blessing Mandevhana. In fact, Blessmore Mandevhana is a young man who is passionate into writing, and I'm a person who is there always to motivate the young people, and that's my passion. I'm doing motivational speaking across the country, and I'm hoping by mid-June we'll be doing motivational speaking regional.
Motivational speaking, going to regional places. So let's start with the first book that you have written. God is the Answer.
Okay. God is the Answer. It's a book that I wrote, and it's a book that deals with principles. And I always tell people that principles are principles, and principles do not change.
Can you tell us some of the principles that are in the book?
Okay, there's the principle of faith. There's the principle of prayer. There's the principle of tithe. There's the principle of giving. All those principles, they are found in that book, and those are the principles that I dwelt much on when I wrote that book.
So if somebody doesn't maybe believe in some of the principles that you have written, for example, tithing.
Right. If a person doesn't believe in tithe, there is giving. Mm-hmm. Automatically giving is going to push you
to tithe.
To tithe, definitely, because they work hand in hand. Automatically, I'm one person who doesn't believe in forcing people to pay tithe. Mm-hmm. But so long as a person is giving, is faithful to whatsoever that he is doing in terms of his or her monetary towards the charity, towards the church, towards the man of God or the woman of God, I think that's fine. That's okay with me.
And then you've got the other book, God is the Answer, the second, because I believe you mentioned most of the things in the first book. Were there things that you left and you decided, no, let me write another book, or you were inspired by something else to add on to what you have written in the first book?
Okay, initially, God is the Answer was one book, initially, at first. But my mentor told me to break it down so that it can be 2 books. But God is the Answer, the second now. I dwell much on faith. That's what I dwell much on. Faith and the steps that you have to take as a Christian if you want to if you want to go to heaven, though I don't know how heaven is like, but the steps that you have to take as an individual. And
so how do you write about heaven and you don't know what heaven looks like? Or do you give maybe in your books an impression of what people can expect of heaven?
Yes, I wrote of what people can expect. At the same time, I use reference from the Bible.
Okay, yeah. Nice one. So I'm talking to Blessmore Mandevhana, who is a motivational speaker. So before he leaves, he's going to give us something. He's going to say something to somebody out there. But right now, we're talking about the books that he has written. We're talking about the first book he wrote, God is the Answer. And he replied it with God is the Answer, the second book.
Yeah.
Then we've got another one, Secrets of Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, Secrets of Entrepreneurship. Right, Secrets of Entrepreneurs. Right, I didn't do much on how to start a business, but I wrote on the traits of an individual that are found on an entrepreneur or a person who wants to be an entrepreneur. Like the traits of you have to be motivated, you personally, you have to be humble and stuff. Those are the steps that you have to take first if you want to start a business. So that is what I wrote in that book. So the book that is going to come next, I don't know when, the book that we'll be doing is Secrets of Entrepreneurship again. I'll be now speaking about how to start a business now. Because at first I had to give people the steps that they need to have so that they can be entrepreneurs.
So you're giving people steps. Can you just give us some of the steps so that somebody is motivated to buy your book? Because if you talk about steps right now, this is me thinking, I'm sitting at home, I have nothing, I have no capital, I have no what. And you're saying I should buy your book so that I can be inspired to be an entrepreneur. I'm asking myself, why should I even be an entrepreneur in the first place? Or how do I even do it? Any steps that you can give somebody, and why you encourage people to be entrepreneurs in your book?
Okay. Firstly, before I speak about the steps, I just want to say there is an entrepreneur who is a degreed person. There is an entrepreneur who is not a degreed person. And there is an entrepreneur who asina kumubvenda kuchikoro at all. Now the thing is,
but do you specify that in your book?
yeah, I did.
Can you just try and specify right now, just in a brief?
Okay, like now I'm trying to say there is someone who is an entrepreneur by nature or by birth. That person doesn't need to go to school for him to make his trades come to life. And at the same time, there is a person who has went to school like me. I did my degree and my traits of entrepreneurs were activated when I was at university. That's where I was activated. So there is a difference between those two people. Now, a person who is likely to be successful is a person who has the traits in him, because automatically he's following his passion. Automatically, a person who doesn't is a person who is doing things, new things at all. So that person is likely to be successful more than a person who went to school. Most, like in Zimbabwe, we are taught to be. In Zimbabwe, I always tell people that in Zimbabwe we are taught not to be entrepreneurs. We are taught to work for people. Okay. But us, we then come in now, so that we want to create some things. That's why you see nowadays we have many young people out there who are advocating for change. Why? Because they want to do their own things. But the educational system in Zimbabwe, up to the age of 25, because we are taught to work for someone.
I wouldn't know much about that because people are going to argue with you, because I remember having a guest talking about the educational sector in Zimbabwe that is one of the best and it's considered to be the best. So
right,
I don't, you can come in there.
The education system in Zimbabwe is the best.
So where is the problem now?
For employees, not employers. 3/4 of people in Zimbabwe are taught to be employees. It's only this year, or it's only in 2017 where I heard there is no entrepreneurship at grade 6. I was shocked. That's new in Zimbabwe, but still, it's not even that effective. Why? Because the system that we have, we don't have people who can teach entrepreneurship, but we have people who can teach us to be employees. That's why you see, we are asking, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a pilot. I want to be a doctor. No one is saying I want to start my own company. I don't know. I hope I answered you there.
You did, but I still have a lot of questions. But if we had time, I would have argued more on that one. It is 11 minutes before we